explain something to y'all real quick, man. Invasion of Privacy is not just a Cardi B album. It's what happens every time you pull up to the drive-thru and they put your order up on the fucking Summer Jam screen, letting everybody know. You know what I mean? Like it, 2, 3 cars behind me, they shouldn't know that I asked you to put Big Mac sauce on the napkins too. Like they shouldn't even know that that's an option. I shouldn't be ordering this. There's a version of me, the better me, that I'm trying to work out and eat better for. He shouldn't even know that I'm getting this shit. It shouldn't be happening. And we already talking on the speakerphone as is, taking it back to the Nextel days and all that. Like you already too loud. But then you want to show them that when I ordered the shake, I said, let me get the small shake because I was like, you know what? I'm going to just do that. I'm going to do something calm. You know what I'm saying? Keep it cool. Keep it, casual. And then I said, you know what? Matter of fact, let me get the medium. So then you put a line through it and then put the medium up there. So now they saw me make a bad decision on the fly. I just don't get why we need everybody in our business like that. Like, you know what I mean? It's already enough that when I said through the speaker, you probably didn't hear me. So I got to repeat myself. And you know what I mean? You said you want to make that a dub. Yo, you heard what I said. You know what I mean? What you trying to prove? You know what? I'm going to just come in there. Matter of fact, you know what I'm saying? But we back in the building, man. All for the Love, episode 18. We out here. We are out here. If this is your first time checking the show out, thank you. I appreciate you. Please tell a friend to check it out if you fuck with it. My name is Mariano. You can call me Mari. It's all good. We got a lot of things to get to, man. We got a very, very, very special guest who pulled up. We kicked it about a lot of things. Stick around for that. You know what I'm saying? You definitely don't want to miss that. Shit was incredible. Got some shit to talk about, man. We got some music to talk about. We got some sports for sure. You know what I mean? I know the ladies, they hit me up and they tell me, hey, look, sometimes I don't even know what you're talking about when it comes to the sports shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not watching this or that, whatever, but I'll listen to it because I fuck with you. And that's love. That's real love right there. You know what I'm saying? That's love, and I appreciate it greatly. So let's get to it, man. Now, Tank versus Garcia was one of the most highly anticipated fights, in recent memory, right? They had, they do the whole shit, the press conferences and everything, but there was one in particular where I knew. I never doubted Tank for 1 second, but there was one where I knew, yeah, he's going to do something crazy in this fight. It was a couple days before. I want to say maybe 2 days before the fight. Something like that. Oscar De La Hoya was talking crazy. Talking about, they must not be confident in their fighter and, whatever. And Tank was just sitting there just nodding his head like, all right. And don't get it twisted. They've done the rah-rah shit, the back and forth and the, all of that. They're supposed to. They got to sell the fight. But in that moment, there was such a calmness to Tank that I was like, yeah. And I tweeted about it when it happened. I said, that head nod alone tells me that when Tank lands that punch in the fight, we're going to circle back to this video and what happened. Second round, Tank heard that Ryan Garcia was going out fur shopping. You know what I'm saying? Shopping for a good fur for the winter. And he said, all right, right this way, my good sir. Mink, 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 mink. Now you got the whole collection. You know what I'm saying? Hit the canvas. And then a couple rounds later, the shit got stopped. DoorDash, Uber Eats, Postmates, none of them could have got that rib dinner there quicker than Tank did. None of them. All the sides, everything you could have wanted. Your man bent the knee like this is Game of Thrones or something. You know what I'm saying? Like shit got different in there. Shit got biblical in there. Shout out to Tank, man. You know what I'm saying? Boxing is as exciting as it's ever been right now. You know what I mean? Him, Shakur is my favorite. That's my guy. Like it's my that's my dog. I think he's the best by far. I think he's the best. You know what I mean? But I'm excited to see the Devin Haney versus Loma fight. That's coming up it's right around the corner, May 20th. And I do believe that the winner of that fight will face Tank. So I'm looking forward to that. But I'm happy that boxing is in a good place. You know what I mean? Because even when Floyd was outside, I would only really pull up for Floyd fights. I wasn't really too excited, about like overall. But I think boxing is in great hands right now. So shout out to them. Also, shout out to LeBron James. He's showing these young boys, yo, I'm still LeBron James. You still better watch your mouth, because you still got to play me. Shit sound good when you saying whatever and you can sit at the desk and say shit and with the suit on, but when you got to suit up, it's different. You might want to watch your mouth. Dylan Brooks has learned that shit the hard way. After one game, he called LeBron old. He talking about he poked bears and all that. But let's stay there for a second. He said he pokes bears. He said, I poke bears. Number one, that shit sounds like one of those old like Twitter names, like, you know what I'm saying? I get fresh, or, I get like, I poke bears. That's all you can come up with. I get it. The old shit, don't poke the bear or whatever. He's calling LeBron the bear and he's saying he poked bears and he said he's old. All right, cool. Explain to me why this same dude who you calling old and who you told us before he don't like to go left, so you're just gonna make him go left. Tell me why he just gamed you going left and you couldn't stop him. You couldn't even stay in front of him. He got an and one on you. Like, he got an and one on you with the game on the line. Game hanging in the balance and all that, and you let him get to the rack. I just don't get it. Because after that one game, you was calling him old, and here we are 4 games in, and y'all still have that one game. I just don't get it. If you're going to call him old, here's a tip. Don't play the kind of defense on him that's going to make it look like it's 2012 all over again. Or you could have just went with the free option of shutting the fuck up. And I'm not saying you can't talk crazy because this is LeBron and he's so great and he's this and that. I'm not saying that. You're supposed to want to go at the great ones. You're supposed to, you talked about with boxing, sell the fight. Cool. But don't back down and tuck your tail and run away when y'all lose, because you were very vocal when y'all won that one game. Now that y'all done lost these 3, every time they pull up on you, you keep saying you out. You got to go. You just got a call, or your stomach hurting, or something happened. Like, there's always something coming up with you now. And I can't respect that. If you're going to be a villain, be all the way that. Don't start talking about what the media did and this, that, and the third. The media didn't do that. You did it. LeBron James ain't take the media to the rack. He took you to the rack. So we not talking about the media. We talking about you. But I mean, it is what it is, man. I hear China is good, so you'll probably enjoy it over there. You know what I mean? One of the teams over there pick you up and shit like that this summer, man. So, it is what it is, man. Real quick, I want to talk about this for a second. So a couple weeks ago, I did what's referred to as scalping my waves, right? Basically, what happens is you cut it all the way down to a 1, right? Just the old Jay-Z haircut, right? It's not quite a baldy, but it's like it's close enough. And bro, niggas call me everything, bro. Niggas call me Eric Maynard. Man, niggas call me Onyx. Just Onyx. Not even just one member, just Onyx. Damn, like my man Joey called me China Mac, like, bro, but here's the thing. If your friends are not like getting at you, no matter what it is, if they're not giving you jokes, those ain't really your friends. That's not real love. They're supposed to do that. You understand? Like, niggas call me Marlon Wayans, like mad shit. Like, and it warmed my heart. It warmed my heart to know that we are not losing recipes, man. Not me, not us, not my friends. Some shit happened, you're gonna get jokes. Period. Now, I got some compliments. You know what I mean? I got some compliments. You know, I passed the ultimate handsome test. I think that the ultimate handsome test for men is if you can rock a baldy and still, you know what I mean, and not look like a potato. It's hard to rock a baldy and not look like a potato, man, or like a kneecap or something like that, or elbow, or just something dumb. And you know, I'm still looking like him. You know what I mean? So you know, should come as a surprise to nobody. But you know, it's just had to say that. You know, just had to say it so it's said, so you know. But it's back. We back now. Basically, but to go back to the original point, scalping the waves is usually, you know, if you don't like the way your waves is going, and you know you got some work to do, you got to fix it, and you know all of that. The only thing you really can do at a certain point is just to scalp it and start over. So now I'm starting it over. So yeah, by this summer, shit gonna be different. You know, Max B coming home soon. The wave would be out and the waves would be back, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that. You know what I mean? But I had to speak on that because that shit just it brought tears of joy to my eye. You know what I mean? Because just to see that camaraderie and see that we're not losing recipes. Like I said, I love to see it, man. Also, Juvenile, shout out to Juvie. The power of social media is beautiful sometimes. Sometimes it's some bullshit and you like, oh, what's going on? But then other times like this is beautiful. Someone tweeted Juvenile about doing Tiny Desk. And if you don't know what Tiny Desk is, go YouTube it. One of the best series out there. It's one of the best things to happen in music, period. Right? And Juvie was like, nah, I'm not doing that. Fuck his Tiny Desk. Like, you know, some people said he knew what he was doing, and you know, he did that. It was like a joke. I don't know. I would like to think that he didn't know what it is. It's way funnier that way. It's way better that way if he like really didn't know what it was. And he doubled back and said, "Oh, that Tiny Desk. Yeah, 10,000 retweets. I'll do it." 10,000 retweets later, he said, "Hey, it's done. The people have spoken. Tiny Desk. You know, they agreed, and it's happening. It's going down. So shout out to Juvie, man. I can't wait. Like in that setting, I need him to do the whole 400 Degrees album, like all of it, every single song. You know what I'm saying? In its entirety. Like, please, I'm with it. I'm all the way with it. Shout out to Juvie. Shout out to Larry June and Alchemist. Because Larry June got Alchemist back outside rapping. And Alchemist sounds fucking amazing. Per usual, right? Like, we know Hold You Down is one of those classic songs that when you play it, when you listen to it, it take you back to that time when you was really outside, like you really had to be there for that. But shout out to Larry, man. He got Alchemist back out here rapping. You know what I mean? I want to know what conversation he had with him to say, yo, Alk, it's time, man. It's time to really, you know what I mean? Like, let's do it. Because I thoroughly enjoy hearing Alchemist rap. He talking that shit. He talking some smooth shit. He hang around enough rappers, so you know he know the shit. Like it's easy, it's simple, and he got the best beats. So it's like, come on, man, shit is perfection. Shout out to I got to give credit, you know, where it's due, and Larry definitely deserve credit for that. Last album he just dropped is a fucking smoker. Like if y'all are not in tune with Larry June, I'll give y'all a joint to go listen to right now. His last album, The Great Escape, that's the joint with him and Alchemist. You can listen to that. Listen to Orange Print. Orange Print is one of them ones, a very smooth listen. I mean, you can go through his catalog and just take your pick, man. It's smooth shit, it's cool shit. It's something you can go get some money to, something you can go spend some money to, something you can get fresh to, something you can go pick you up a nice little thing too, you know, whatever. But yeah, check that out though, man. Shout out to him. I gotta shout him out. Also, I gotta shout out somebody who is, I think, the definition of determination, perseverance, not making excuses. That's none other than Tariq St. Patrick. You might think I'm about to give him credit for the drug dealing and the, you know, nah. It's because no matter what happens, I don't give a fuck if he owe to connect 100 bricks. If he just got caught catching a body on camera, if they're about to take his little sister, if his mom is being held hostage, he's gonna find a way to brush his hair. And I respect that. No matter what's going on, girl trouble, money trouble, housing trouble, he is going to brush his hair. There's no excuse for anybody, bro. This kid goes through everything you can think of, and he still finds time to brush his fucking hair. I gotta commend that. I gotta applaud that. Shout out to you, Reed. You got your flaws, you got your weaknesses and shit like that, but that ain't one of them. I gotta salute to you, my boy. I really do. Also, while we on the topic of saluting people, I want to salute and commend anybody, especially the dudes in this situation, because I know some girls went through this as well. But shout out to the dudes who you might have came up rough, and people look at you now and they like, damn man, like why are you so you paranoid, or you so quick to whatever, and they don't know like you going through shit. One of those things, one of those situations, the thing that could be plaguing you is maybe your mom had a fat ass. And what I mean by that is you don't really know who to trust in that type of situation, because when you come up, you know what I mean? Like everybody's looking, this. Automatically it's going to be rough for you to make friends and keep friends, because that's where the paranoia set in. That's where I'm trying to, what I mean? I ain't really got too many, that's where that kind of shit come from. Because now all of a sudden niggas want to come over to the crib. Oh, your mom went in the kitchen, now automatically a nigga thirsty now, and then when she leave out, oh, you done. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's going on? And I guarantee you, like, dudes who had to go through that, they probably got a homeboy who they would catch a body for, they would go do 100 years for. And even that dude then told somebody else, like, yo, her shit crazy. So the loyalty is just a little, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta know. You gotta know with shit like that going on. Like, don't be so quick to judge these people. Like, you gotta ask them if their mom had a fat ass or not. I mean, be respectful when you ask them, but maybe you shouldn't even phrase it like that. Maybe you shouldn't even ask. But that's a real thing. Because you gonna feel like everybody out to get you. Everybody. The teachers, when she come up there for the parent-teacher conference, the fuck, you know what I'm saying? The janitor, everybody. Now you go to school the next day, everybody trying to speak to you, they wonder why you got the what? What'd you say? Like, and they like, damn, he a problem child. No, he's not a problem child. His mom just got the joint. You feel me? Because in the back of his mind, he know that niggas will backbite him for a chance to bite that back. You feel me? Like, that's just kind of what's going on. So I do want to say my heart goes out to the people who had to go through that, especially the dudes, because the girls sometimes they kind of embrace it. They kind of embrace the fact that they got a fine mom, or their mom got a fat ass, and they like, yeah, my mom, yeah, she did that. She she a baddie, da da da. The dudes is like, they ready for whatever. Shout out to them, man. You know what I'm saying? If you know anybody personally who mom got a fat ass, go buy them a drink or something. Go buy them lunch. You don't know what they're going through. You don't really know the type of shit that they're going through, so don't be so quick to judge. You know what I'm saying? And if she got the fat ass, like, point in the right direction. But it's neither here nor there. I want to say, and we're gonna get to the Mickey Factz interview in a second, right? We're gonna get to that in a second. But I want to say this real quick. The Wu-Tang show is very, very good. Very good. I love it. I just wish that little switch that they did with RZA's voice didn't really happen so suddenly and so dramatic. Because now it's like, I don't know, it's weird, man. When you hear him talking, it's like the Jizza and the RZA, and we went to the concert and saw SZA. Like, dog, like, come on, he don't sound like that. It's not that crazy. He sound kind of wild, but like, come on, not like that, dog. They did the most with that. I just don't get it. We really could have did without that shit, man. I just had to speak my piece on that real quick. But real quick, pay a couple bills and all that. We gonna chop it up with the homie Mickey Factz, and then we be right back and all that. You feel me? So it's all for the love, man. Listen, man, we back in the building. Told y'all know we only do legendary guests always, always, every single time. Go check the track record, man. Producer Bethany, tell them they know we're in the building with the one, the only, the great. I gotta make sure I say the great. I have to. We gotta start this off with flowers. We started off with love. It's all for the love. Y'all know that. We got Mickey Factz in the building. What's up, my brother?
Smicky. What up? What up? What up?
Yeah, there we go. That's what I needed. That's the energy I needed right there. So, but we number one, first of all, thank you for pulling up. Appreciate your time, man. You know what I'm saying? Before we get into anything though, I gotta tell you, you passed a very important test. And this is a test that not a lot of people know even exists. So I'm gonna give you the short little story on it, and I'll tell you the results and all that. So one day a while back, I was wearing a Biggie shirt. I love Biggie. My baby girl saw it and asked me who it was. Told her the little brief history on it. She wanted to listen to some of the music. Played the music. She loved it so much that to the point where every time we would get in the car after that, she would ask, "Can we listen to Big?" And I'm like, "Can we?" Yes, of course we can. So now when I listen to an artist, I play it for baby girl. If she don't do the head nod and say, "Daddy, I like that," I'm like, "Oh, okay." I was listening to your LA Lakers freestyle, classic. When you rapped over Encore, rapped over We Gonna Make It. Halfway through the Encore joint, she said, "Daddy, I like this." I said, "Oh, do you?" She said, "Daddy, I like this." So you passed the baby girl test, man. So I want to congratulate you on that, my brother.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, man. That's beautiful. Shout out to her, man. You raising a queen over there, man.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate that a lot. So let me see. Let's start somewhat at the beginning. A lot of times when people hear like athletes talk about their welcome to the league moment, you know what I mean? Like that moment where it's like, all right, the honeymoon is over now. You here. This is real life. What would you say was your welcome to the music business moment?
My welcome to the music business moment. Wow. That's a really, really good question. Um wow, I've never gotten that question. So this is a little tough. For me, I would think that I would okay. January of 2008. This is a great question, by the way. I had been working with the cool kids for some, not working with them, but I had been speaking to Chuck English for some time. And he was finally coming to New York City. And around that time, early 2008, I was kind of like starting to bubble. I was in the downtown scene. I was throwing parties, and a lot of the artists that were popping at that time would come to these parties. And anytime anybody that was in the underground scene around that time, Cool Kids, Cuddy, Wale, they would come to my parties. So Chuck English hit me and was like, "Yo, we have a show. We have a show tonight. What are you doing tonight?" I was like, "I got a party." And I was like, "Yo, I got a record. Why don't we do a record?" So he was like, "Bet." So we record the record. The record's called Rockin' and Rollin', right? And we performed the song the same night. And
Damn.
yeah, we put like this was like a welcome to the music industry. So
Yeah.
so we recorded the song, we performed it the same night. They came to my party that night, and we shot the music video the very next day.
Yeah, that's
And it just so happens that Kids in the Hall was in town, Cuddy was in town, Vashti was in town. All of these people that were like the darlings of this kind of, the
yeah.
creators of Hood by Air. Like in that
Yeah.
video, I'm the first person who ever wore, I feel like Soldier Boy. I'm the first person who ever wear Hood
Yeah,
by
yeah.
Air. In that video, that jacket, that shirt that I'm wearing is Hood by Air. So So this was like a welcome to the industry moment for all of my team. My stylist, who
Yeah.
was styling for Chris Brown at the time, he pulled. He had MCM was just getting ready to come back out, so he pulled some new MCM gear and was able to give it to Mikey Rocks. We were just, he was just, we were doing a lot. We were doing a lot, and uh, it was an incredible 24 hours. If you watch the video now, we don't know the words to the song, so we're dipping in and out of the camera, and you can't.
Yeah.
We're not. You know, we're not. We don't know the words, and Vashti can't. It was
Yeah.
just. It was just a. That was my welcome to the industry moment.
That's fire. And sometimes, when rappers do that, you just think as a consumer, like, oh, that's just some rap shit. Like, you in the video, you just kind of rapping a little bit, whatever, you vibing.
Mm-hmm.
But to hear that story and to know that that's a very authentic moment that's being captured, that's crazy. Like, that's absolutely incredible, man. Shout out to Mikey, shout out to Chuck, shout out to everybody.
Yeah,
Like, that's
definitely.
that's fire. That's 2008. So we started off talking about that LA Leakers freestyle, right? The one thing that stood out to me, and we'll get into that a little bit later as well, is when you said Pendulum Ink is like a needle in a haystack. Like, that was it felt like that was very important to you. Like, out of everything you said, it felt like that was like a very important thing. But the freestyle itself, it was so incredible. No pun intended. But it was the way you kind of, you put their names in it, and then you kind of went back and gave the history, and it was like, you know what I mean, like, so like, walk me through that day of going up there saying, yo, nah, I'm about to sit down and do this, because it felt like, I don't know, it didn't feel like that was a sit down, all right, I'm gonna put a beat on, and then you had to wait to catch the beat. It was like, put the beat on, I'm about to rap before the beat even dropped. Like, it was just a seamless thing, you know what I mean? Like walk me through that day going up there.
Um, I had reached out to Just Incredible. That's my guy, and I was like, I said, yo, it's time. I said, it's time for me to return. And he was like, say the word, Mickey, whenever you want to come down. So I flew out to LA, and they had moved this. No, they didn't move the station. I just forgot how to get to the station. I get to the station. Um, you know, they gave me water. You know, they prepped me. They let me know that they had all the beats, and I was a little nervous because um, I had got the first the it was actually funny. I was in Vegas like 2 days before, and when they finally confirmed, one of the other people that I freestyled for, Cosmic Kev, he said no. So I took that encore freestyle was for Cosmic Kev. So I had to find a beat that worked well, and encore was the beat. And I messed up a lot on the encore joint because it was over a different beat. So we had to do a couple takes. And typically I go through pretty easily, but I did a couple takes. Nobody really knows this. Um, and then We Gonna Make It came on, and I was just like a one take kind of thing. And their reactions were incredible. Their hospitality was incredible. They they went above and beyond in terms of the promotion for it. So much so, I am the last person that they had come up there to freestyle. Actually, they're not having anybody go up there to freestyle anymore, from what I understand. I'm the last one.
Damn. And also, you was the first one from kind of the, you said I'm
Yes.
freestyling on, you know what I mean? So it's only right.
When I would go up there, like I would go up there in 2012, and I was like, "Yo, y'all want me to rap?" It was like, "What?" It was like, "Are you kidding me?" Yeah, nobody asked to rap. So I would go up there and rhyme, and then I went back in 2015, and they still weren't doing their series. And I was like, "Yo, y'all want me to rap?" They was like, "Of course." And that visual went crazy online. And then that's
Yeah,
when they started. They was like, "Yo,"
absolutely.
that's when they started doing it. And people,
Yep.
because they were always like, "Yo, people don't want to come up here and rhyme." And then it just kind of got really popular once J. Cole went up there.
Yeah.
It just kind of exploded, and everybody started to go. And
Right.
I think it got to the point where, they were probably getting overwhelmed with requests. So
Mm-hmm.
they kind of pulled back. But then when I called them, they were like, absolutely, because you were
Yeah, every
coming up
time.
before anybody wanted to come up.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Yeah, no, it's so interesting that you say that about the We Gonna Make It, because when that beat came on, that's the one that I would have thought there was like a lot of prep and like, yeah, like I'm gonna do, because as soon as it came on, it's like you already knew, like, oh, this is what I'm about to say. Is that the way you just approach music in general now? Because I feel like at this point, I can say that you're a master of your craft, right? Like you've done the groundwork, you've done everything, and it feels like watching you work, like this is somebody who does this. This is not something that you just, yeah, I rap sometimes. Like, no, this is just what you do. So is that the way you approach music now, just in general?
Right now, I'm approaching music. It gotta hit me. I move off of a vibe, and right now, like typically, um, I get in the zone. So the last zone I was in was a real soulful zone. So like I was like, let me give them the soul bag. Right now, I'm not gonna hold you. I'm in a Miami bass bag. I am. I don't know if it's the Freaknik energy that's outside. I don't know if it's Luke coming back, but I want to rap over Miami bass records, man, and I want to do like a whole
Yeah.
project like that, because one of my favorite records of all time is My Boo, and it's the bass line,
Ooh.
it's like it gives a feeling of summertime, springtime, the
Yeah.
poolside, like sexy drinks,
It could
dancing.
change the weather. If you play that song on the right day, I think the universe itself might be like, oh, wait, nah, we
Yeah,
wasn't. Oh, all right, cool. Well, just bring the sun out then, because they got the joint on. What else can you do?
right.
That's one of them.
So I want
Yeah.
to kind of do some Miami bass records. I think that's like my next phase right now.
Um, and then even in that freestyle as well, right? Like you talked to financial literacy, which is something you've been talking for a long time. You did it on the Flex freestyle, which was like one of the best like one of the best freestyles, period. But especially up there on Flex. Um, but it feels like not it doesn't be made. Not a big enough deal is made like when you do things like that, and I don't know if it feels like that to you, but how do you kind of walk the line between wanting to be acknowledged more and then having that not feel like or come off like entitlement?
Um, for a very long time, I dealt with this sense of validation, and it was crippling for a very long time because I came up with Cuddy, I came up with Drake, I came up with Wale. Cole used to open up for me. Kendrick used to open up for me. Like these are my guys. I've done records with all of these guys, and a lot of times people just skyrocket to the next level, and um, circumstances and and timing plays a part in a lot of things. I will admit that I'm glad that I didn't go to that next level. Uh, as I look back at my younger self, I was very arrogant, and a lot of it came from trauma before me getting on, right? Not feeling
Mm,
seen, not feeling recognized. So I was very arrogant, and it all came tumbling down, right? That pride before the fall. And once I fell after being at the top, at least the top of the underground, like burgeoning artists, once I fell, this humbling spirit came over me, and I've moved in that space ever since. So from
mm,
2014 until now, I try to be appreciative of every interview, of every person, every supporter, every fan, every DM. Like I'm very welcoming to it, because at one point I was really ridiculous. So
mm,
and it was a life lesson for me. So when things like the Flex freestyle, I saw when it came out, it didn't really hit. Like people were mad that I finally got up to Flex and I started talking about financial literacy, and it didn't really.
which is wild to even think about, like
Yeah,
you being mad about that. Like,
2017 I got cooked. But then the people who were in black finance, when they got their hands on it, it went viral about 7 or 8 times over.
mm-hmm,
And it was a very eye-opening experience for me, and it made me realize that there are certain people for certain people, right? Your audience is your audience, and there, if a person wants to rap about cats, there are going to be a group of people that enjoy cats, right? Oh,
That
you a
might be
cat
my
girl?
lane.
Oh, okay. I,
That might be my lane. I'm trying to get producer Bethany to get some cats. Like right now, we trying to work out the details and all that. So we gonna figure it out.
that's hilarious. So once that kind of went viral, I stopped kind of looking towards the validation. It did pretty decent on YouTube. It's had like 300,000 views, but we
Yeah,
we probably got somewhere around 10 million all across social media platforms.
yeah. That story right there is beautiful because I love to hear the story where artists and people just in general understanding like, okay, this is where I was, this is what had to happen, and sometimes life be life, and then sometimes it's for a reason, it's for a real reason, and so with that, I always say that every creator on any level, right, in any kind of way, always has a conflict. So would you say that, that the trauma, like you said before rap, right, like wanting to be seen, wanting to be heard, wanting that validation? Would you say that was your conflict that you created from, where it's like, I'm gonna be intentional about this because I want to be recognized. I want this. Was that it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of it. Like, for whatever reason, I think rappers always like to say that they were at the cool table, you know. And I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't at the cool table. I wasn't at the cool table, but I wasn't at the cool table not because I wasn't cool. It was because I came up in the Steve Urkel era, and I had to wear glasses. So glasses weren't cool. Even if you had designer frames, you wore
Yeah,
glasses and you were called Urkel. You could That was it.
yeah,
So the only way to kind of get away from that was reciting Bone Thugs and Harmony. Because nobody knew the lyrics. I was the only one that knew the lyrics, and then I took that and started writing. And when I saw the attention that got, it was the validation that I wanted, and I just kept going with that. So that really is what
yeah,
what it came from, that trauma of being made fun of, and then when I provided a service for people, they enjoyed it.
yeah. Yeah, and now the service that you provide is Pendulum Ink. Shout out to Chilla. Chilla, listen, man. Chilla's incredible. Like
Yes.
one of my favorites of all time. Chilla, I need you to pull up to the show. When you see this, I know you're gonna watch this. You gotta pull up, man. We gotta speak, man. You know what I'm saying? But the service you provide now is such an incredible thing that when I was listening to you talk about how everybody else took off and like you didn't, it felt like this is where you were meant to be. Like, no,
Yes.
like just wait a minute, just wait, just be patient, and now you're here. How did this even come about? Because like this is something that has not been done. Like this is it. This is the pinnacle. You know what I'm saying? So how did that idea even come about? Like what was that conversation like? And when you started telling people, hey, this is what I'm going to do.
Um, I mean, I think for me, it boiled down to like I don't have a hit record. I never was blessed enough to. That's the one thing that I'm missing from my career is a hit record. And the label folded before I could get a chance to provide the world with my talent in that way. So I have to constantly rhyme to take care of myself and my family. So I was like, I don't want to rhyme like that no more. Be like, I want to teach.
Mm,
And I went to NYU. I studied law, and I dropped out. So it was a little difficult for I went to a couple different universities and tried to get jobs, and I kept getting turned down. I kept hearing no. And I went to master class, and I basically was like, "Yo, I would love to do a I would love to do a master class on lyricism," and they told me no. They were basically like, "Don't call us, we'll call you." And that was the final straw. That was the last straw. I said, I'm from New York. Y'all not gonna keep telling me no. Be like, is you crazy, right? So,
I like that. I like
right.
that.
So, um, I said I'm gonna do my own. I'm gonna do my own master class, and the master class turned into a whole school. One of my co-owners, he was doing a master class, and he paid me $250 to do his master class. And I said, "Wait, you paid me to talk about rap? I can scale this."
Yeah.
And I that's what I did. I went and got Chilla. I said, "Chilla, I'm not doing this without you." And he said, "I'm
Yeah.
in." I went and called my guy from LA, Jeff Walker, mental health specialist. I said, "We got to have mental health in here. You know,
Yeah.
we have to give therapy to our students." And then we reached out to a curriculum editor to make sure everything that we have is in alignment with not only the academic world, but for the hip hop world. And then I just put it out, man. And we built it as it came out. And if I would have waited and just been like, "No, it's not ready, it's not ready, it's not ready," it probably wouldn't have came out. So
Yeah.
we put deadlines on ourselves in order to make this a successful venture. And right now, like, we just crossed, I think, like 14 months. This is probably the greatest venture that I've ever, even greater than me rhyming. This is what I was
Mm.
meant to do. And this is why I was saying, I'm glad I didn't reach the status of my peers, because I wouldn't have done this. And this to me is more fulfilling than, vanity, of making music.
Yeah. Yeah. And so with Chilla, right? Like why was it important aside from him being an incredible lyricist, right? Like you have to know like the makeup of a man, what he stands for, what he's about. So why was it important to have Chilla and to have it so important? Like, look, I'm not doing this without you.
Well, Chilla, I co-discovered Chilla. Me and Norbs found Chilla, and
Okay.
me and him have we built a rapport over 12 years, and we would always come up with new different ways to write lyrics. And we never really kind of knew why. And I knew that if something happened to me, I could depend on him to run the school because he knows everything that I
Mm.
know. And in terms of him as a man, he's very quiet. He's not really he's not really in front of the camera too much.
Mm-hmm.
He's very humble. He's very reserved.
Purposeful. Yeah.
He's
Every time I see him, it's always it's a reason.
It's
Yeah.
purposeful. It's calculated.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the way he writes, like everything is intentional. So
Yeah.
if Chilla is this reserved man who's calculated and intentional, and I am the marketing, I'm the face of it, and I can talk that talk. It's a perfect blend of character, no ego, right? Like he
Yeah.
doesn't have ego, I don't have ego. Anything that comes across my desk, any even possibility of things that might be prosperous, I come to Chilla, and I don't make the decision until we are both on the same page.
Man. Yeah.
And a lot of that is maturity, a lot of that is trust over 12 years, right? And a lot of it is not only him understanding, but me understanding that this is bigger than us. It's not about us. It's about pushing academia and hip hop into the forefront of not just social media but society. Period. Especially as
Yeah.
Black entrepreneurs and creators.
Agreed.
There's so many different ways that academia and hip hop can help our young Black boys and girls not only kind of venture into a space of intellectual and enlightenment, but also reading and writing. I
Yeah.
think a lot of times we take for granted that our children can read and write. There are a lot of
Yeah.
kids out here that can't and don't want to because they're being taught by people that they don't relate to or they don't look up to. So we're trying to shift and
Yeah.
change that dynamic, because as Black people we're connected to the drum because that's the motherland. So like,
Right. Right.
so I figure, why don't we incorporate that within teaching and rapping?
Yeah. And everything you're saying, it's funny that like while you were talking, I can recall like the content from the first day you guys started posting it, talking about it was it's coming soon to now. it feels like that. Like when you talk about it, the way you look when you talk about it, like it feels like that. And I'll tell you, like right now, my absolute favorite moment so far from you guys is Bun B doing the commencement speech. That was absolutely incredible. Bun B's a legend in our culture, in just a lot of different avenues. But how did that come about, and like what was that like for everybody there? Because he's a captivating guy. Like number one, like that's off the rip. It goes without saying. But man, like seeing it in person had to be something crazy. So just how did that whole thing come about?
Yo, listen, Mari. Let me tell you, man. I asked Bun B to do this commencement speech last year around this time.
Okay.
And he said yes. He said, yeah, I'm gonna do it. So every month I would hit him and I'm like, yo, I want to book your flight. And he's like, Mickey, don't worry about it. Don't worry. And it got to the point where like we still hadn't booked his flight. We in January. And I'm like, yo, Bun, we got to make this thing happen. We've been promising the students this for a year now. And he was like, so what do you want me to do again? And I'm like, it's like, I need you to do the commencement speech at my school. He was like, you got a school? I was like, yeah. I was like, I've been telling you about this for like a year now. So the night before, his ceiling had collapsed on his head and he slipped and fell. And I don't want to say he fractured his hand, but like something happened to his hand. And he had this big bulge on his hand and this big knot on his head. I woke up to this text at 2 a.m.
Damn.
He sent the text at 2 a.m. I woke up at 6. And when I saw it, I started panicking because, everything was framed around Bun coming. So I was up. I could not go back to sleep. He hit me at 6. He's in Texas, so he hit me at 5:30 his time. And he was in this car, and the message came on, and he took a picture of the message while he was in his Uber. And he said, I don't know what I'm walking into, but this is a sign that I need to be here for your event. Right? And I was like, oh my God, he's coming. So when he pulled up, he was very stoic. He wasn't his jovial self because, again, he didn't get much sleep. He got injured. It's so much stuff going on. And he's seeing everybody in their pendulum hats, their pendulum shirts, and he doesn't know what's going on. He literally does not know. He doesn't understand what's happening. We start the ceremony and we see, we all give our speeches. The students give, a valedictorian, a salutatorian, give the speeches. He watches the videos that we play, and he's seeing people crying. He's seeing people emotional. He's hearing the people who received their glass awards saying, this changed my life. One guy said, I almost committed suicide. This changed my life. We saved the guy from getting a divorce. Like this was a therapeutic space. So he saw all of that. And when it was time, and you can see the stoicness in his face from when he first showed up until he got on stage and he freestyled that speech for 10 minutes. It was one of the most powerful moments, because then he was smiling and he was like, I cannot believe that it took 50 years for us to have a school and for you to create a wellness center for people. And, we were all bawling. Like everybody was just like crying, and it was, and then he stuck around, and mind you, it was his right hand. He shook everyone's hand. He hugged everybody. He took everybody's picture. He signed everybody's degree that wanted to be signed. He stuck around and gave advice to so many artists. He went above and beyond what an OG is supposed to do for the culture. Like I am indebted to that man for what he did.
Yeah.
Because what for what he did, and he did it. He listen. I could go on and on, but this is our program right here, right? Like this was our program.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we fed them people lamb chops and chicken and waffles and spring rolls and an open bar. Like it was a moment, and he delivered. So I owe everything
Yeah.
to Bun B. Seriously.
And hearing that he freestyled that speech is crazy because like even watching the clip that you put up, it felt like he wrote. You know what I mean? Like wrote, but again, like you said, leading up to that day, and him screenshotting that the message and saying, "Yo, this was meant." It's like it's already written. You know what I mean? Like it's already written. I'm gonna get up here and I'm gonna just speak from the heart and I'm gonna talk. I'm not surprised that Bun B is a great guy. Like it's Bun B. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
what do you like really what do you expect? Real quick, just a couple more things before we get you up out of here. Gotta ask you this: Mickey Factz is such an interesting name, right? Like I said, I love it. I love it as a name. But sometimes with artists, the name they start with is the name they part with. Did you ever have a different rap name, or was this always it from day one?
Yeah, I had a different rap name. The other rap name was Renegade.
Okay.
Renegade, yeah.
Why Renegade?
So Renegade, it was easy to rhyme words with. So
Mm.
grenade, spade, age, rave. It was very easy to rhyme with.
Yeah.
When my mom found out that I was Renegade, she told my church. They put me in a circle and was like, "Do you know the definition of renegade?" There's like a man who walks away from his beliefs. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay. I kept the name for like a year, and then I was
You had to
like,
scrap so many rhymes, like damn, man.
yeah.
Like,
So I changed the name to Mickey Factz. It was a good change. It was a much
yeah,
needed change.
yeah, damn, that's tough. That had to be tough. Like hearing that, and you like, damn, man. I got plans for this name already, man. I got the merch in my head for this right now. I gotta
Yeah,
go back to the drawing board. Like,
yeah,
damn, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah, nah, man. I listen again. Thank you, my brother, for this time. And I don't wanna do the, yo, rapper, come up here and do some rap shit. But right now, if I asked you to incorporate Off with the Love in a couple of bars, it don't have to be nothing crazy. Right on the spot, could you do it?
Yeah, I could do it. Yeah, I could.
What's up?
Oh, you want me to
What's
do it
up?
now?
I need to. Yeah, I gotta hear something, man. I can't sit up here and watch all these freestyles and listen to the legendary freestyles and not at least shoot the shot.
Yeah, I listen. I respect it. I respect it. So, all right. I went to NYU as a paralegal. Almost could have talked as a judge. Instead, I'm on the podcast, and it's all for the love. I'm spoiled with the hugs, and people know how Mari do. Sorry to the crew that's out there that want to be a part of you. This is all the marketing, and you know I used to rock the Supras. Got a shout out to Bethany. She's the top producer. Pendulum Ink, we out here. And of course, it's Uber. That's all the way out in Germany. You heard of me. United Super. Facts. There you go. Real quick. Real quick. That's off the top.
Hey,
That was off the
listen,
top. So I'm sorry if it wasn't like on flow or
listen,
whatever.
Bethany. No. That was fucking incredible, and I'm gonna tell you why. Bethany knows exactly why I made the face I made when you said the bar you said. Once we rap, I'll tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
off mic. But goddamn, man,
Yeah.
you are special. You are special, my brother.
Thank
You
you,
are you
brother.
you are very special. And I want to again. We started this off with love. We started off with flowers. I want to end on that note as well. I think that you are one of the greats that we have in this culture.
Thank you, bro.
One of the best pens ever.
Thank you, bro.
You're somebody who when I listen to you, I'm happy you decided to rap. You understand? So whenever you sit back and you think, like you said, damn, the hit record, whatever, just know that your impact that you've had on people, me and countless other people, goes far beyond what a hit record. You know what I mean? And
Thank you.
and, and
Thank
again,
you.
I know that that's something that you want personally. But again, understand that the impact that you've made, and even baby girl like it. You understand? So I mean,
That's all that really
feel better.
matters. That's the hit record right there, if we're being honest.
There we go.
You know what
There
I'm
we
saying?
go, man. Yeah, man. So hey, man. Again, it's Mickey Factz in the building, man. With me, with producer Bethany, man. All for the love. Thank you once again, my brother.
Smicky. Long live lyricism.
Long live lyricism.
Peace.
Yo, man. Shout out to Mickey, man. Once again, you see, he dropped bars right on the spot. First time it ever happened on the show. That's a classic moment, legendary moment. I appreciate him greatly for that. Like that dude is incredible. I can't say enough about him, man. Shout out to him. Before we get up out of here, y'all already know I got to give y'all a gem. Something y'all can take with you. Whether you're from around the way or not, you're going to leave here with something. And I want to talk about how the illest shit you can do is help somebody. The illest shit you can do for anybody is to have the information and to help them. You're looking at somebody going through something or it's a problem they can't solve and you see them missing a step or two. If you can step in and help them, you should. Because why not? Shit don't cost you nothing. Like whenever somebody say, the game is to be sold, not told. Yeah, to people outside of the culture. I'm not gonna tell you some shit and you might be a vulture trying to come in and get over. Nah, but if you my brother in the struggle and you my brother, we trying to make it together. Nah, you ain't sell what? Nah. I'm just gonna help you. If I had the information available, I'm just gonna help you. It's the illest shit you can do. Because now you just put that person in position to help somebody else. And it just goes on and on like that. So to have all that information and not use it, it's like just putting a bunch of money up and never ever spending it. Nobody can ever touch it, ever. Nobody ever gets the benefit from it. Like, what you doing that for? It makes no sense. To help somebody, that shit don't really take no time, man. To build with somebody reaching out to you and they asking you, yo, how do I do this? Or, how can I get into this game? If you got the information, why not? You didn't always have the answers. So whether you read it somewhere, somebody told it to you or whatever, why would you want to gatekeep that? You should want more of the people getting ahead. It's only going to make you look iller in the end. The amount of people that you can help and that you can put on, it looks way better on your jacket than you just listing off all the ill shit that you did. Because how ill are you if you're not helping anybody? Never? You never held the door for somebody? You never laid the jacket over the puddle and all that? You never, never nothing? You never threw an assist? I think it's natural to want to lead the league in points, but it's divine to want to lead the league in assists. That means you seeing the game from a point where not only can you set it up for you to get a bag or for you to make a play, but you see everything that's going on. You can get somebody else in the position. Why would you not want better for somebody in their family? You see somebody in a situation that you can help them out and they could better their situation moving forward forever, for generations. Why not? It'd be the insecurities. It'd be people looking at you. It's some people right now that's in a position to help you and they probably won't do it because they're scared of what you're going to become. That fear consumes them. They looking at you. They see your potential. They know that people love you. People appreciate your energy. You're a beautiful person inside and out, and they're scared of that. That's why they holding so tight to that information, because it's the only thing, it's the only leverage they have over you. That's why. So when I keep asking why not, I know the answer. These people are cowards. Why would they ever want to help you get up somewhere when all you do is remind them of what they aren't? It's just wow. It's the ultimate sucker shit to me. To see somebody in a situation and then instead of helping them out, instead of giving them a helping hand, you talk behind their back and look at them and say, look at what they ain't doing. When the whole time you could have just threw the lob. You could have threw it off the glass for them. You know what I'm saying? Like in the NBA all the time. You know a dude trying to get his bonus. He trying to get that extra 100 racks or whatever. He need 4 more points. What they do? Feed him the ball till he get his bonus. Imagine you the dude on the team. You see him open on a fast break. And you say, nah, I think I'm going to get this point for myself. You a sucker. You a sucker. Simple. Ain't no two ways about it. So the next time you find yourself, you see somebody out there, and maybe they don't even come ask you for help, because a lot of times people aren't comfortable coming to ask for help. But if you see somebody out there, I'm not saying just go around giving unsolicited advice, but at least pull up on them and say, "Yo, if you got time to have a conversation, I just want to chop it up with you about a couple of things or whatever." There is a way to be tactful and approach people, in these type of situations. So, once you can figure out that middle ground and start to build, you should. We should do way more building and not destroying. Only thing we should be destroying is sucker shit and cowards. We should be destroying all of that got to do with that. But let's build, man. Let's build and build, not build and destroy, man. It's all for the love.